CCW TV, the Comic Culture Warrior video channel. I am Elliot Serrano, and this is Jose Melendez coming to you once again from Dreamland Comics here in Schaumburg, Illinois. We know you folks have been missing us, and we missed you too. If you've been wondering what we've been doing, well, actually, we've been up to a lot. Jose's been busy with the Inveterate Media Junkies blog and podcast, and I, of course, have been dealing with Geek to Me. But not just that, you know, the holidays really did a lot for us.
Yeah.
I think the last time we got together right before Christmas. No, not right before Christmas, like a week or so before Christmas. We actually were hoping to get together to do like a New Year end of wrap-up thing, but that never happened. And then the New Year came, and then things just kept getting in the way of us sitting down and talking. But, you know, if you've, again, check out Jose's blog, Inveterate Media Junkies, it means staying on top of the goings-ons in the comics industry. And I've been dealing with more movie and TV stuff, so... Anyway, but we're going to jump right back on the horse because a lot of stuff has been going on in our absence, and you folks have been asking for our input. What we're going to do is talk a little bit today about the state of female characters, specifically Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. Wonder Woman has been having a lot of... well, I mean, we talked about the J. Michael Straczynski thing. Last thing we talked about. Because J. Michael Straczynski dropped Superman and Wonder Woman, and a lot of folks had to kind of pick up after that. Mm-hmm. And the question that Jose posed to me before we started these segments was, why is DC having such a hard time figuring out how to establish Wonder Woman as that iconic female hero when it seems like they just seem to be doing a better job with some of the other female heroes?
Yeah, and it's just I mean, these books came out... like 1 week, 2 came out this week, 1 came out last week, and I'm relatively new to 2 of these books, being Batgirl and Supergirl. I started buying Batgirl at issue 15, number 17 came out last week. I tried reading the first couple issues, and it just didn't, just to try it, because I want, this new Batgirl, so I tried it originally when it came out, and I just didn't like it.
Right.
A lot of people were always saying good things about it, and then it started, number 15 came out. There's a new artist coming about it. I think that was a lot of it had to do with me not liking the art. So I read 15, 16, and I thought they were great. I thought they were excellent comics. And another comic that people have been telling me that has been good that I just haven't gotten around to reading is Supergirl. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I wanted to pick up Supergirl this week, Supergirl number 60, was because Nick Spencer was tapped to take over for Supergirl, and everyone on my blog knows how much I think Nick Spencer's stuff has just been phenomenal.
He does Morning Glories.
He does Morning Glories, which we reviewed and everyone knows we love. He did Forgetless before that, early last year, which I thought was probably one of the best miniseries that came out last year. He is doing a killer job on Thunder Agents, and if you are not reading Thunder Agents, you really need to go out and buy. There's 3 issues out so far. Issue number 2 was the best comic book that I read all year. Okay. And that book came out in December. And we reviewed it on our podcast, on the Inveterate Media Junkies podcast. And then issue 2 just blew me away. Mm-hmm. So there's 3 issues out, and if you need to buy, that's easily the best book that DC's putting out right now. And the close second is Detective Comics with Scott Snyder taking over with Jock. So Supergirl, the reason I wanted to pick it up was Nick Spencer, but then they announced a couple months ago, or maybe not even like a month ago, they all of a sudden DC's like, well, Nick Spencer's not doing Supergirl anymore, and I'm like, what? There's been really no official reason why he's not on the book anymore. I don't know what the deal was. They've never really said. But since I guess he probably did already have this issue written, he does have a co-writer. He's got a co-writer credit on here, and
James Peaty.
Yeah, he's going to be the new writer.
Oh, okay.
So it's, I'm sure he took whatever Spencer had for the script, and then he worked his own thing because he's going to be writing. And it really bums me out that Nick Spencer's not going to be writing this, and because the other reason why I picked this up is because what's his name? Bernard Chang is going to be the regular artist now. He actually did like issue 58, I think, too, just like one issue, or 57. I bought that just because of the art. But yeah, I thought Nick Spencer, Bernard Chang. I'm like, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But Bernard Chang's staying on the book. Okay. So I'll buy it regardless. But I thought
the art is gorgeous.
It is. I mean,
it is gorgeous.
I'm so glad that this guy's finally, because he did some fill-in issues for Wonder Woman. He's been some stuff here and there for DC, but now he's finally got a monthly book, right. Which is good to see. And so it was a good read. It was a fun book. Supergirl. I didn't like it as much as Batgirl because again, there wasn't a lot to seem to do with Supergirl in this issue. There's this whole thing with Lois Lane and this other woman who works for this
the Cadmus.
Yeah, for the labs. Yeah, and so a lot of it has to do with this backstory of maybe who Supergirl ends up fighting in this issue, and then there's this whole other third story with these two dudes. One is like a super intelligent guy who creates this app for like the iPhone or whatever that follows superheroes to let you know where super powered beings are all over the country.
Right.
So you have all these different things going on, and there's not enough with Kara in here to really get a good handle on her character, but I do like the fact that she kicks a lot of ass.
She kicks a lot of ass. That's true. I mean, while, yeah, you don't get as much Supergirl as you would expect in this issue, I think you have to, like, even in an issue of Superman, you know, there are a lot of times when the supporting cast kind of gets pushed to the forefront, and Spencer has to set up this whole scenario using...
Not used to that. See, this is all new. We haven't done this for like 2 months.
2 months.
It's a train wreck.
You have to set up this whole new scenario with this new villain. So, although he calls himself Alexander, which to me seems like a play on Lex. I'm wondering if this is going to be Kara's Lex Luthor.
Maybe, yeah. That's what I thought too. And then he said Alexander, and then I thought Lex too. But again, I'm new to this book. If this is something that the seeds have been planted a while ago, I have no idea. So this is us coming into this just brand new.
The great thing about this particular issue, though, is if you have not been reading Supergirl up until now, it is legitimately a good jumping-on point. You don't have to have this tremendous back knowledge of what's been going on with her. I mean, you know who Supergirl is. You know who Lois Lane is. You know what Cadmus Labs is. All these other things. Of course, this new villain, a new character they're introducing, so it's new to everyone. The one thing I really enjoy about Nick Spencer, though, and this was something that really came across in Morning Glories, is he's very good at writing female characters. And for a title like this, you need to have that kind of writer. I'm hoping that James Peaty, who's a co-writer, is maybe like one of Nick Spencer's proteges.
Yeah, I don't think he is, because Petey's actually... See, this is a whole thing, because Petey has been at DC Comics doing... just doing random issues. I think he did some JLA, and he's been doing other stuff. But I don't think he's actually had a monthly. This is his monthly. And so, Petey's taken over by himself. I mean, I said, I want to know why Nick Spencer's not on this book. Right. Maybe it's because, Nick Spencer has a lot of stuff that he's working on.
Well, you have a lot of books out there.
You have a lot of books here. Yeah. Morning Glories, and you have Thunder Agents, you have Infinite Vacation, and then he's starting up Iron Man 2.0 at Marvel.
Right. There's only so much a writer can do.
Right, and when I heard that
quality work.
Exactly, and when I heard that he was doing Supergirl, I'm like, oh no, Matt Fraction, Brian Bendis all over again, spreading himself too thin. But everything that he's written so far is Thunder Agents, it's amazing. I think it's 3 issues in, and not a single bad issue. The Morning Glories, not a single bad issue. So maybe it was just too much. I'll have to wait and see about his Iron Man, but I just really wish... I'm going to keep getting Supergirl because Chang's going to be doing the art, and hopefully Petey can write a decent enough story where I can enjoy the art with that.
Switching gears over to Batgirl, Brian Miller is writing Batgirl. He's been writing it. Brian Q. Miller. He's been writing it for a while.
He's been writing it since issue 1.
Yeah, Perez is the artist. If you haven't been reading Batgirl, this is another good issue. This particular issue reminded me of one of my favorite classic Batgirl and Robin stories that I read is written by Devin Grayson, who did it for an annual, and it was showing Dick and Barbara from when they were young, and how their relationship kind of started when they were kids, and it had a nice little ending to it. This book was very reminiscent of that particular story. I don't want to give away the ending of the story, but Stephanie and Damian have a very
they're complete opposites personality-wise.
Right, but the relationship is very endearing.
It is,
and
that's the thing that I have to say about Miller's writing on this. It's pitch perfect. The tone for this character,
Right.
like I've only been reading it for 3 issues now, and Stephanie Brown is already like probably one of my favorite female characters in comics.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing bad about this character. There's nothing bad about this writing, this art. Perez is just doing this one fill-in, but I mean, even the art is really good in this.
Oh, it is great artwork. The pacing in here is great, and there is a laugh out loud moment in this book too. When
there's a couple of them for me.
Well, when Damian has to do his undercover work.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty hilarious. I did not see that coming.
And that's another thing about the whole getting back to the laugh out loud moments for me. The dialogue, especially in this issue, it is witty, it is clever. There's some really good quips, and it doesn't fall flat like numerous other writers which you talked about. You could tell when it's forced.
Yeah.
This is just naturally.
Yeah.
It's a fun book to read.
Right. It is.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I like the Batgirl character is because Miller does such a great job with her dialogue that it's impossible not to like the character.
And then we've talked about this series before, but Power Girl. Winnick is still writing it. The last time we reviewed it, we talked about how we really like what Winnick was doing.
Sam Bassery has been drawing it every issue. He hasn't missed an issue.
It's a gorgeous looking book. It's just wonderfully rendered. Also, another solid female protagonist, a solid book.
And it has been since issue 1.
So let's go back to the question then here.
Seems like all the girls.
Yeah, Supergirl, Batgirl, Power Girl. Right now have solid creative teams on them and have a very...
and they're fresh comics, too, you know?
Fresh comics have a very specific vision for them. The characters are grounded. They make sense. They're very consistent with what people have known about them for years and years. Why is it so hard for them to do that with Wonder Woman? Wonder Woman, who's a character who's even more established in all 3 of those.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's one of the problems with the baggage with the character.
Right.
We've talked ad nauseum about Wonder Woman and problems people have with Wonder Woman and what we like about Wonder Woman. But with this whole Straczynski thing, as much as I love the character, as much as I love the comic, that comic is just one of the... I feel the dread of when I buy the new issue and I'm like, time to slog through this shit, because I feel like I have to. That's Wonder Woman. I actually talked about this. I got into a little bit of an argument about this on the blog with somebody. How we always talk about don't buy shit, or why do characters sell the comics, or do the creators? A lot of people stick with the characters no matter what.
Right.
And I'm always like, don't do that because you're just going to keep getting shit. I am guilty of that with only Wonder Woman.
Right.
That's the only book that will ever consistently buy to support the character because that's what I do. Right. And I love that character. And
it's not like these other books that are out there are dying and need that support. It's not like, I'm not gonna slog through a bunch of shitty Avengers books because Avengers books sell.
Right.
They've got like friggin' 5 of them now.
Mm-hmm.
You have one Wonder Woman book right now.
Exactly, and that's what the thing I was talking to this person about is like, there's only one Wonder Woman comic. There will only always be one Wonder Woman comic. All the fucking different Green Lantern books we have now. Green Lantern has like 3 books.
Right.
Flash is gonna get more books. Right. It's like Superman. Wonder Woman's only had one, and that's. For Wonder Woman fans, that's what we have to get. That's what we have to deal with. It doesn't matter if we stop buying it. DC is still going to put it out.
Right.
I just wish they would do something good with it. And it kills me that these 3 books right here, all right, this is for DC right now, for fans, this is the new Wonder Woman. These characters are what Wonder Woman should be.
Right.
And that's why I'm going to continue to buy these books, because it's everything that I liked about Wonder Woman, but you're getting it in 3 different personalities, and they're all really great books. And why can't getting rid of Gail Simone on Wonder Woman was a fucking stupid decision. We already talked about this. They probably don't want to ask her to come back. Phil Hester, unfortunately, has to write the next 5 issues of Wonder Woman off of Straczynski's story, and goddamn, that thing is just going to kill that book. I mean, I think it already has killed that book, and it kills me to have to say that about one of my favorite characters. But
is Don Kramer still doing the artwork on it?
No. See, that's another thing. Fucking Don Kramer, that guy's really slow to begin with, and then you put him with Straczynski. Don Kramer did like the first issue, I think, the whole thing, and now I think only does like 2 or 3 pages. And there's like 3 different artists on an issue. It's such a mess. That's why they should just cancel it. Not cancel it. Throw it back into DCU. Get rid of the Straczynski storyline, and make it like this. You don't put Nick Spencer on fucking Wonder Woman.
Well, again, but if Nick Spencer's, I mean, and I'd agree with you, have him do it. You can offer it to him, but I mean, if he's got too much work as it is, you want the guy on the book when he can do his best work.
Well, he's doing his best work right now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, a writer can only do so many monthly books at a time.
I completely agree, but it's for Wonder Woman. It's one of those things that, for me, nothing has even been close to being good as the Rucka run since Rucka left. I mean, that book is just, I buy it, I enjoy it. Gail Simone did some interesting things for it. Alan Heinberg came out and did, he restarted it, and that then kind of fell flat. Then Jodi Picoult came out and fucking ruined that book. Then Gail Simone came and saved that book, and she was doing good. She was planting some seeds, and I didn't enjoy it as much as the Rucka run, obviously. But, I was getting to the point where I'm like, all right, Wonder Woman, this is cool. Gail Simone's doing her thing. This is a fun book. So, yeah. So that was a long way around, but, it's...
The question, it is. No, you're absolutely right. It is frustrating. Just trying to figure out what the issue with the character is. I mean, you had Joss Whedon struggle with the Wonder Woman movie for how long? Yeah. I mean, he always said that, and again, we've talked about this too. He goes, the character is hard to build the character of whole cloth because there's so much that goes into it, so many disparate elements that people have come to accept about her. How do you do her in a way that's consistent?
Right, and that was the thing that I was hoping Straczynski was going to do, was he's going to just boil her down to her elements, basic elements, and give people a fresh look at what Wonder Woman is beside the costume. That was the whole point of the Straczynski run. Right. And then he abandons her, and then we're stuck with this shit, and it's just not good.
And the whole thing was just, and the whole thing became about the costume change too.
And then we can also talk about that on Friday. NBC just ordered the pilot for the Wonder Woman TV show,
which David E. Kelley is working on.
Yeah,
right.
So I mean, 2 weeks ago, no one wanted to touch the fucking thing, and everyone was like talking about how it's just abandoned and it's shelved. And out of nowhere, NBC says, "Yeah, we'll take a pilot."
Well, it's because they've got the cape, and they got to figure out.
But Warner Brothers passed on the Wonder Woman thing. It's fucking the WB. That's Warner Brothers. Right. And everyone was saying, like, well, Warner Brothers doesn't have a budget to do the type of show that Wonder Woman is going to be. Yeah. But NBC can't be better financially off than the WB, because they've been pretty terrible in the ratings lately. But hey, if they can do something with Wonder Woman, I'll watch it. But I don't know, but yeah, it's just...
Okay, DC, you know what? I know you've been waiting for... I'll do it. Okay, yeah. I'll do it. I'll fix Wonder Woman. I've got the idea. I know how to fix her.
Does that have anything to do with the Nash crossover? Army of Darkness?
Army of Darkness, Wonder Woman versus Army of Darkness? No, that's going to be something else, actually. That's, Well, actually, I pitched that, and then they said, let's do Danger Girl instead.
Oh, so that's why. That's how that came about.
That's how that came about. So it's going to be Danger Girl versus Army of Darkness. You think I'm joking? Check out CBR. All right, well, that was us giving you some reviews and kind of giving you a little bit of frustration over a character we love. We're back!
Yeah.
We're back baby!
Being bitching and moaning and bitter about the industry. I bet you guys have missed that shit, right?
Missed that shit. All right, when we come back, we'll put the bitching and moaning aside, and we're going to hit you with a review of a book that we love. We hope you join us.